Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of X Interact, the weekly video game news podcast where three, or sometimes four, but in this case two this week, friends get together to talk about news and discuss different topics handpicked by us. My name is Eric, and tonight I'm joined by Steven.
What's up?
Remember, if you're listening or watching to us, you can help us out by rating, leaving a comment, most importantly, subscribing to our channel on YouTube, our podcast feeds, and anywhere else. Also, keep an eye out on us on Twitter at x_interact_, all caps, for all the exciting things we're doing. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or just want to send a question to the podcast, send us an email at xinteractpodcast@gmail.com. But enough with that. Let's kick off to some depressing news, I guess, for the first one. So, if you guys have been keeping up, Activision Blizzard has been involved in a lawsuit against the state of California for frat boy culture and harassment of women. So, just a content warning right now. This story does involve reports of sexual harassment, abuse, and suicide. I'm reading off the GameSpot article by Eddie. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. Makucha,
That's the
Makua?
Eddie
Or,
McCooch is how I would pronounce it, but yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Right.
Terrible at pronouncing stuff. But I'm gonna read a couple of excerpts from a little bit from the article, and we'll go from there. So, California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing has launched a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard over claims of equal pay violations, sex discrimination, and sexual harassment, among other things. The suit also mentioned that some of the male employees, quote, engaged in sexual banter and joke openly about rape, among other things, end quote. It also stated in the lawsuit that a female Activision employee took her own life at a company trip with her male boss. Um, the quote: the employee had been subjected to intense sexual harassment prior to her death, including having nude photos passed around at the company holiday party. The company that the complaint says, according to Bloomberg. Um, Reading ahead a little bit. Um, the DFEH launched its civil lawsuit against Activision Blizzard and Activision Publishing on Wednesday at Los Angeles Superior Court. The organization says the companies are in violation of California's Equal Pay Act and Fair Employment and Housing Act. The lawsuit arrives after. Okay, I'm just gonna skip all that part. I'm just reading word for word here. Basically, again, credit to GameSpot for
For
this.
sure.
Um, I'm just scrolling through to see if there's
Yeah,
anything else.
guys, we're just paraphrasing here for
Yeah, there's just
podcast
so much to this
listeners. Like
story, and
it's a good read and it's an important information.
for
Keep
sure.
going though, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through to see if there's any. Okay, here's a quote right here. I'm reading from this paragraph. Bloomberg reports that about 20% of Activision Blizzard's workforce are female, and that the company has a quote pervasive frat boy work culture. The report says that some female employees at Activision Blizzard participate in quote cube crawls where they drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office and often engage in inappropriate behavior towards female employees. Um, so I'm just gonna stop the article there because I feel
Yeah.
like
It's a lot, right?
yeah, well, I'm just gonna say it out loud. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Yeah. No
It's,
joke.
uh, I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm not. To be honest, it's 2021. Women shouldn't be having to deal with this. This is ridiculous, and this is just fuck. I can't even put my mind together and how the fuck any of this shit could happen in 2021.
How and reportedly for years and years now, right? Given I think somewhere else they were in the suit, they mentioned that one of Blizzard's sorry, not Blizzard, Activision's retorts to it was some of these claims are super old, right, and shouldn't be included in this complaint filing, and that was kind of their one of their defenses was that a lot of the complaints being brought forward were old, but it's like so clearly it's been going on for a while, and those have been happening, and we're still seeing things happen. So we needed to see that stuff happen again, clearly, and being brought forward. So, yeah, man, I don't know how. I mean, I guess I kind of know how they get away with sort of for this long, but it's just disgusting and surprising that anyone would just foster a place that could, I don't know, allow this kind of stuff to happen on a regular, it seems like. And
Yeah.
it it would be one thing if it was like one person, but there's many cases being corroborated here. Uh and people, employees, I guess you'll get to like probably later on, but that have come forth after the fact, uh being like, "Hey, Blizzard's response to this is just garbage." Do you happen to know one of the former like bigwigs there like came out and apologized for like being a part of that kind of culture? I can't remember who it was, like Mike Morheim, if I'm right.
Um. Yeah, I didn't list it in the doc here, but like there's been like a lot of updates regarding this story within the past few days, you know. And I think you are right. Like one of the executives came out and apologized, and I guess some employees came out and called him out too about that. And then today there was it was just happened a bit earlier that a bunch of Blizzard employees like signed a a document or a statement like calling out all this stuff here,
Yeah.
and and like and then there's I think a few days ago like you were saying like how Activision was like calling out the suit in one statement, but then there was like another statement from another head saying that they were like shocked all this stuff was happening, like they wanted to do better. So there's like a lot
Mm.
of conflicting like stories going on here, and like
So what's
this
weird,
is
the president, I believe, the acting like CEO or like of operations president, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I think it was J. Allen Brack who made it
Yeah,
the apology statement, like saying they wanted to do better.
yeah, and he came out being like, "Hey, super apologistic." I don't think that's a word, but he came out basically being like, "Hey, this is crappy. We should be better. We should know better," kind of thing. Um, and then I think it's like head of like, I believe their HR department, basically, or like communications, basically PR for the company, came out and kind of had a different approach to it, where they were like, all of this is baseless, all of this, that's where they kind of got like these are old reports. So you have one side of the company in conflict with the technically publicly facing part of the company, which I suppose is their job to kind of go into defense mode, right?
Yeah.
Like that's your job to protect the company from that. But in the same sense, there's no positive spin on this. There's no when you have so
I
many
mean,
people and an investigation that confirms many many details on all of this, and the
yeah,
fact that
someone
there's
lost their
so
life to this,
much.
you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's the fact that there's so much going on and so many people coming out to say it. What At what point are you just going to be like, because I think they went on media blackout, right?
Yeah, there haven't been any like posts from their any of their Twitter accounts,
Yeah,
either from Activision or Blizzard and things like that. And I think there was a story earlier today that an Overwatch map got like halted
yeah.
because of cause all this lawsuit, and like
Um,
it-
as it should be. You shouldn't have anything to say other than, we're going to take the steps we need to take to be better and investigate it to its fullest. That's all we need to hear from this, and we need to start seeing the actual actions of that being played out on the other side of it. Obviously, when they're done being defensive about it, and you start, I don't know, just they start being real about it, in my opinion, because I don't think that there are this many people coming forward, there are this many details about something for it to be baseless. That just doesn't
yeah.
happen.
Plus the state of California was investigating them for
Hmm.
2 years. I don't think they would have gone ahead and put out the lawsuit if this was all baseless. You know, this is the state of California doing it.
Right.
This is not a single individual.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the state of California is the one who was doing the investigation. You said for 2 years, correct?
Yeah, I believe it was 2 years.
Yeah. No, there's again, you have one going into defensive mode, and then you have one trying to be the face, right? Because, and you want to be more personable, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna deny
Yeah,
those things, right?
yeah.
Uh,
And then I just pulled it up now. The from Bloomberg, Activision Blizzard staff signed petition supporting labor lawsuit. So, and this is from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. Jason always does great work. Shout out to him. Just in the first paragraph, nearly 1,000 current and former Activision and Blizzard employees have signed a letter calling the company's response to a recent discrimination lawsuit, quote, abhorrent and insulting. And so, like, if 1,000 of your current and former employees are signing this, there's got to be truth behind this, and I don't even doubt for a second that this is true. Like, th- this is this is just shit all around, and
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft too, for that matter.
Yep.
Because just last year we had all those allegations, and
Couple
the
months
fact that they
ago,
didn't change anything either.
we were still dealing with that a couple months ago, where they were saying, they came out and said, "Oh well, not much changes have been made to the leadership at all, or anything. No big
Yeah.
movements have been made to rectify any of that situation." And until we keep like not forgetting about it and speaking out against these kind of things, until everyone just kind of says, "Hey," and not forget about it, I think we're going to keep seeing those kind of problems. Obviously, we're going to keep seeing harassment in the workplace, probably in perpetuity, unfortunately. But
Yeah, because
it'll be less, at
this
least, if we bring these forward, in my opinion.
yeah, this is unfortunately probably a common problem throughout the game industry, and this just fucking sucks. Like,
Mm.
this should be a place where where someone who enjoys video games should enjoy doing their work. Instead, they're in constant fear of being harassed or sexually assaulted, and that's just fucking horrible, man.
And imagine the people who are, there are probably women on their social team who are probably getting harassed and having to deal with people, the backlash of all this, right? They have to be the front line for those. And I can't imagine the position they're in right now, being on that side. Your values versus your job essentially is kind of where that goes through, right? You have to be, you're doing your work for a company that didn't have your back essentially at that point. uh it, in whatever form that may look like, maybe not even you personally. I just feel for everyone that was involved, and like, obviously I can only give my opinion on this because me being a white male, like, I'm kind of far out of like most of the harassment kind of realm. So again, anything I say with a grain of salt. And it's, for me, it's just been, I was gonna put like a piece out about it, being like, hey, this is terrible, basically. But then I thought again, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna say that's gonna add to the conversation in a meaningful way? For one, and for two, I'm not the demographic that's gonna be the best to learn from in this situation. Um, just based on the situation. Obviously, everybody. The fact that I'm a white male doesn't mean that I don't experience harassment, but it's like, I just feel we're probably in that minority where it's just far less of that stuff happens. To me, being a white male, I just anecdotally don't see that much kind of crap happening. So, really shitty. There's a lot of great people out there. If you see people sharing stories about harassment, um, encourage them. I would say, I don't know, just encourage people to speak out, because these kind of things don't stop until the people can't ignore them. The people doing that can't ignore all of the articles coming up, because this isn't just gaming news. This is broke into CNN, because it's a big company for sure. And
Yeah,
obviously it should have got a bigger spotlight prior, but can't change the past. So I don't know. All this to say, like, just keep an ear out, open up your perspective on things, because there's a lot of people having a lot of bad times at workplaces because people are of the wrong mindset. People say something because they don't think it's harassment, but there are many things that you would be surprised that come up that are not okay.
for sure.
And we learn every day, man. No one's perfect, but these people will not stop. And obviously, like, these people who did this are definitely not in that kind of needs improvement, they're just shitty. Like, we need to point these people out. I guess there was one part I wanted to point out. It was like this. They mentioned the Crosby suite for one of
Yeah,
the execs had one. I guess it was like a misspelling to like Cosby suite, and everyone kind of knows about the Bill Cosby crap.
yeah, doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, no, and then that just adds to this whole terrible picture, and we're still here dealing with this. It's 2021. We shouldn't be in this place, like you said. Just be better, man. Like, treat people like people. Like I keep saying, it's not hard. You just treat people like you would want them to treat you, I think. And I guess even just treat people good, because some people don't want to be treated well, I guess. So just treat people good, even if you don't want to be treated that well. um I don't know, dude. Do you have any more thoughts on this? I just feel like it is an echo chamber at a certain point, but it is worth
Yeah,
revisiting anytime it comes up.
just a couple of things. I just want to, if you, I'm guilty of this too, but if you see something, speak out against it. Like me, like high school me, younger me will be timid or just probably mind his own business. But like nowadays, if I saw something like this, I would call it out. Like this shit is unacceptable. Um, but it kind of I don't even know. I don't. It's also I don't know how to like word this, but like the fact that 10 years ago, Bobby Kotick apparently was in a lawsuit, a sexual harassment lawsuit, and he lost against it, and we're basically repeating this thing again is ridiculous. And I,
That's why
I,
history is
I
important,
don't know.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. I don't know, and I don't know like how we like the average gamer can like speak out against it. Personally, for me, I'm probably not gonna be buying many or playing Activision Blizzard games. Now, granted, I really wasn't interested in much of the games. The only one I was really interested in is in Overwatch 2, but you're not gonna see me playing that. I'm not gonna support this company, and I know this is like a double-edged sword because doing that also hurts the devs. And there's like really no easy way to like show the company like their actions like are unacceptable. But I feel like for me personally, this is something, you know.
yeah, you can speak with your
And
wallet for sure.
yeah, and it's a hard thing to do because obviously the devs who put all their hard work into Overwatch 2, like they're not the ones to blame. They're the ones, well, except the shitty ones, you know, but like
Of
the
course.
innocent ones who put all the work into the game to make something they love. It's hurting them too, but until we can like root out the all the shit in the industry, I guess this is just something for I can at least do, you know.
It's a hard
It's
pill
not
to
the best
swallow.
thing, but it's something.
You know, it's like vegetables, right? Uh, Nobody likes really eating vegetables, but it's the better decision in the long run, because the only thing companies listen to is money. And when this
Exactly.
starts
That's why
hurting their
it's so
bottom
hard.
line, then they'll start making the changes. But until
Yeah.
then, I just don't think that places like Ubisoft, like Riot Games for a while, which did see I think they did see some effect to their profits and stuff, if I'm right, just off the top of my head. But they did actually make changes, according to many employees there at Riot Games, and it does seem to be at least a little bit of a better place to work. But that's like a greener situation than what we're seeing with these two big giant companies. Honestly, there's billions and billions of dollars companies, so until they start seeing it affect their money, they're not. I just don't see them having their hand forced, except for with obviously the state of California looking into. You can't really ignore that, so that's good that they've been
Yeah.
doing some great work over there. Yeah. Just to close it off, I would say personally, if you see somebody on social media telling a story about harassment, give them the platform. I guess quote tweet it, say like, "Hey, don't be afraid to speak up." Quote tweet it in there. Well, tell people about stories like this, because the more you hear about it, the more we all know, and the more we all know to be better to one another. Hopefully, uh, yeah. I just wish we would see more positive the more positive side of this, like inclusiveness, and you do see that with some companies, but unfortunately, the shit has a way of rearing its ugly head more often than not.
Yeah, the this is just shit all around, and the gaming industry needs to do better. Like I
Yeah,
said, it's 2021. People in general shouldn't have to deal with this, let alone the victims.
no. Uh, be better. Just be better. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's no easy way to transition to the next one, man.
Yeah. Um.
Uh, go ahead.
Yeah. No easy way, like you said, the transition. But let's move off of that dark story and onto something a little better, I guess. Let's say and
Yeah,
that's what was it, Thursday? Last Thursday, I think it was. We had our
yeah,
EA Play Live, which I want you to take this away,
yeah.
Steven, because honestly, for me, there wasn't really too much for me besides maybe like the last two announcements. I think it was.
So there are a few good things in here. This comes over. I'm gonna cut. This comes over from The Verge. Andrew Webster posts the biggest announcements from EA Play Live 2021. Just kind of a rundown of what we saw there. We started off. I guess the big one. They had a bunch of indie titles, and I'm trying to find a couple of them. Or maybe they did. They had like smaller off titles, not indies. Sorry. Um, we have like Knockout City Season 2, which kind of looks cool to me. That was kind of a standout. Fight at the movies. I'm gonna watch a little bit of the trailer here. Sorry for audio listeners.
In a world of
Turn
chaos
this down a little bit here.
and rules the streets, is anyone strong enough
So
to stop the unstoppable?
just some really creative stuff, and it's cool to see
A world where one hero rises to meet
them
instant
actually
regret.
living up to like a games as a service sort of thing,
world
instead of just
where
dropping the ball
lovers
like you see a
chase
lot of
their
them do.
passions and
Yeah.
feel the burn. A world where terror lurks high
I will
above.
say I haven't really played Knockout City much, and it does look interesting. Just so many games,
Where
you know.
warriors
So,
fight.
This one's
dodge
one of those
brawl
games where I
supremacy.
played a little bit, but I'm jealous of people that have the time to
Intimacy,
sink
time
into it.
brawlers, battle
And I
rivers in a
might honestly
child's
start it back up with
bedroom?
this one. So
This season,
this looks pretty cool.
bring your moves to the movie.
I mean, obviously it's the same game, but there's settings, basically new arenas, right? Where they've got like different timepieces from like
That
movie
voice
theaters, like
is Murder on
Egypt.
the
They have
Vibes.
a big city. Yep. And they're showing off a couple
The
of
Hollywood
new gear,
Drive
new
opens
cosmetics,
July
a soda ball,
27th.
I guess.
We'll see you at the movies.
Just
It's
a whole bunch of
showtime.
a suite of new things that kind of make it exciting to. And that comes out tomorrow, July 27th, for Knockout City Season 2. So that was one I wanted to kind of point out. Let's look here. Obviously, they had Grid Legends, which I'm not a racing person, so
Me neither.
that evades me. The only racing game that I super got into was like the Need for Speed Undergrounds and
Oh yeah.
what is it? Burnout, obviously, which is more arcadey, and then they had Onrush for a while, and then that was the closest we got to Burnout lately. And then
Yeah.
what was the other one that Forza Horizon. Because they
It's
just kind of make it not a racing game as much.
Yeah, it's interesting that this game has a story mode apparently using like,
Yeah.
the same tech Mandalorian does, which is pretty cool.
That's kind of what was more is filmed in XR like the Mandalorian. And I guess it has I don't know how to pronounce that name. I don't even know if I want to try.
I don't either.
Anyways, moving on. We have, let's see. No. We have the obviously Apex Legends with Emergence and a new character. I haven't been into Apex Legends for a while just because I've been playing other like forever games basically.
Yeah, me neither. I know they added the arena mode. And I did want to try that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
So the arena mode is like a much more distilled, faster pace than the BR. You It's like Valorant, I would say,
Okay.
but probably a lot less sweaty and easier to get into, in my opinion. Because I've played both, and Arenas is really cool. I just haven't had like anyone to play Apex with, and when you're playing
Yeah.
Apex solo, it's like it's not as fun. But Seer is a really cool character. I guess he is done by who does this voice? I know it's someone famous that voices Seer, and I can't remember, or he's in a lot of video games, but
Yeah, his voice sounded familiar. I just can't remember
let me see
whose
if I
voice it
can.
was.
I'm gonna play a little bit from the trailer here.
Someone, someone in the during the kind of funny reaction, someone in the chat named it out, and I was like, "Oh, it's that guy." I just can't remember who it is right now.
Right.
I see it in a boy, rocked by tragedy.
I think it's Doomfist from
Transform his
Overwatch.
pain
I think it's the same
and
voice
defy
actor.
reality.
Maybe.
I see it in the warrior, who
Maybe
must
it
choose
was.
between their new life and the annihilation of their home. I see it in a girl.
And for audio listeners, you really should check out this Apex Legends like cinematic trailer.
Awakens her heart.
They always do some amazing cinematics, man.
A boy born under a
I don't know who they have for it, but
turn his tail
they're always super
to
stylized.
a legend. James,
He's got like
So
a,
apparently the voice actor's name is
but that
oh, I
doesn't
just missed
mean
it.
it cannot
Um,
be beautiful.
I just fucking missed it. Amadi. I can't. I feel like I'm butchering that name, but apparently he's done work in World of Warcraft Shadowlands, Call of Duty Black
okay.
Ops Cold War, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Star
Maybe
Wars
that's.
Squadrons, Death Stranding, and Mortal Kombat 11.
I think I've heard from him in Mortal Kombat 11, but it sounds very similar.
He was Uncle Davis in Miles Morales. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the character I was thinking of, though.
No,
Who was
I
the
wasn't
character?
either.
This is killing me now.
I know, we're gonna have to figure that out, dude. Anyways, Apex is doing great. It's blowing up. I guess they hit concurrency records not too long ago. Really cool to see Respawn getting the credit they deserve, and just hopefully they're not killing their devs, man. Because
Javik from Mass Effect 3. That's who I was thinking of.
okay, yeah, I can see that, man. I can see that.
Oh, he
Oh.
also did Spartan Lock in Halo 5. Oh, interesting.
Is that a new weapon? No, I don't think that's a new weapon. Anyways,
That was killing me so much. Sorry, because I was like, he's in something I played recently, and I played
Yeah.
the Mass Effect. I'm like, that's what it was.
yeah, honestly, man, I don't know, some really cool stuff from Apex. Like I said, Respawn's killing it. Hopefully not their devs, because they keep coming out with content, dude. Like, it's non-stop, it seems like, and they're working on Apex, I guess Jedi Fallen Order, the next one, and some other game too, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And I'm probably obviously like multiple teams, but the Seer guy looks really cool. Emergence to their new season, I guess. They just released a new gameplay trailer today, but for time purposes, I'll let you guys go check that out. And then I think, obviously, so they did show Battlefield 2042. Not really much to say here. They revealed the new mode called Battlefield Portal. I don't know. I want to be into Battlefield more than I actually am, right? Like,
Oh,
I don't know,
so
bro.
Battlefield Portal looks really cool. It basically looks like Forge mode, but for Battlefield, obviously without the map creation, where basically you can just like make like these crazy custom game modes and like do whatever you want throughout, and it has like assets throughout the entire, well, not the entire, throughout like multiple Battlefield games. So the Battlefield games they're including are 2042, obviously,
Yeah.
1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3.
So it's like an anthology, right? Like,
Something like that, yeah. It's like really cool. Like in the trailer, they were showing like a cool one with knives versus defibrillators.
yeah. I'm playing the trailer right now for audio listeners. You can, yeah, I
I
don't
believe
know.
they're called EOD bots versus a tank, which is like those little drones that like with a torch on them or whatever. I
Yep,
remember them in Battlefield 4 were
yep.
using disable bombs or whatever. I think it
Defibrillators,
was
and
like
there's a bunch of guys
infant-
with defibrillators I'm watching right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
There was one I think with infantry versus helicopters or something like that, or a
Mhm.
jet, one of the two. Just like a lot of crazy stuff. And then they had like one where it's like um a squad of 4 soldiers from Battlefield 2042 using modern weapons versus a 40 people using 1942 weapons. So like it's modern versus old school, and like just a
Yep.
lot of crazy cool like game modes you can put on.
Dude,
And like
just
this is gonna be really fun.
it's like what? It's like a brains versus, well, one versus many kind of like thing, like where they have the new guys have all the tech and stuff, but there's like so many more like 1942 soldiers and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
this does look like the mode I would check out Battlefield 2042 for. So maybe this was one. Right now they're showing the destruction of like obviously a giant like smokestack pillar thing, antenna. I don't know, one of the two.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then like they're also bringing back like classic maps too. I don't have the list with me right now.
it's
but,
all
like,
in the new engine too. Like it's not like it looks old. It's just all the
Yeah.
stuff. That's insane, man. Yeah, I don't know. If there was ever a time for me to be excited for Battlefield, this would be the one to get me there. I played a good amount of 4 when it came out with friends, so hopefully this is kind of gonna rekindle that itch, I guess, right? Where you get
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, every night I'm gonna go play. We're gonna go drop in, and it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna go ride some fucking tornadoes and blow up some buildings and antennas, and we'll go play some custom modes while we're at it too. They're going all in, and I got to give it to them. I'm just super excited for that.
Yeah,
I
this is
really
the
hope
most
they
I've
do
been,
well.
yeah, this is the most I've been excited for Battlefield since Battlefield 4 because I personally didn't like Battlefield 1 or 5. Battlefield 4 I got at launch with my PS4, and bugs and crashes aside, that was a really fun time.
I know I've been on the cut here for a little bit, but some of these trailers are really cool. Obviously, credit to all the devs at EA for really making some good trailers. That's one thing I did like about the EA Play Live was they kept a good pace. They didn't have a whole lot to show, but I was never like, all right, let's get out of here. I was like, all right,
Yeah, a
what's
lot of
next?
they confirmed like earlier throughout the month, I guess, like that a lot of their big stuff wasn't going to be there. Like Skate wasn't there, but we got like a preview
Mm-hmm.
or like a teaser earlier in the week. They said Star Wars wasn't going to be there. They said Dragon Age or Mass Effect weren't going to be there. So a lot of their big stuff missing. But for me personally, I thought the show was all right. I didn't that first half just wasn't speaking to me, but I can see how it could speak to other people. But Battlefield definitely spoke to me, and maybe this next announcement, if we're the last
Yeah.
announcement, maybe might speak to me.
So I'm gonna cut to
Yeah.
the trailer here. If you wanna, do you have it up with you, and we can talk over it real quick because this one is interesting. There's not a whole lot to it, but it's just interesting to kind of to go over. They announced with a teaser, I guess it kind of leaked earlier, but with a teaser, I guess it's a remake of next gen remake of Dead Space, and this will be next gen only. So
Yep.
PS5 series and then PC only. And I'm gonna start the trailer up right now for audio listeners. You should hear a little bit of the audio, but I think this trailer's safe. I muted the Apex trailer because obviously they like to do themed music in Apex, so probably safer than sorry on that.
Yep.
Anyways, just like dark shots of incredibly looking and textured bloody grates.
So I have a confession. I've
Yeah.
only played Dead Space 3 in co-op.
Oh no.
Hey, I had fun with it.
Oh, and a spooky monster in the background. It's just a cut after that, right?
Yeah.
It's not super
But,
long.
yeah.
It gives like, I'm hoping this is in engine because if so, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's being made by Motive, who they did Star Wars Squadron, I believe.
They were also the ones who had the Star Wars project canceled on them, right? EA Motive, the bounty hunter one, or
I
was that a
can't remember.
different one?
I feel like that might have been Visceral, and
Evis,
they
I
were
think
behind Dead Space 2, and they got shut down.
I know Motive was working on a Star Wars project at some point. Oh wait, maybe they did do Squadrons. You're right. They did the
Yeah.
Squadrons, and I think they did the vehicle like combat for
Oh, perhaps that would make sense if
Battlefront.
they did.
Yeah, they were in charge of all like the dogfighting and stuff, if I'm right from the Battlefront. So that makes sense that they would just go and do Squadrons. This is really cool. I'm playing through one was super hard for me because I can watch scary movies all day long, man. But for some reason, anytime I get to like a scary game, I make through it, but I'm just like super anxious the entire time. Maybe it's just something about the immersion being different there, or I don't know what it is. You can't look away, right? You got to see what you're doing. You got to make sure your character
Yeah,
lives. Um,
that's basically me. Yeah, like I normally don't play horror games, and like I did play Resident Evil 2 remake though, and that was like pretty fun. But
mm.
that's only because everyone was like like giving it a ton of praise and stuff. Normally, I wouldn't be playing Resident Evil or anything like that. And like even just The Last of Us, like just I don't know if we would count that horror, but like it was
Oh,
suspenseful.
there's some horror in there, man. Like there's
Yeah,
some crazy shit in Last of Us. So um,
yeah, but like that would even playing The Last of Us, I'm like, oh, I get like kind of scared and
sure,
stuff.
yeah. Dead Space. I guess not much else to say. They don't even do a release window, right? I think this is just like, hey, it's here, or
Yeah,
it's coming rather. And
I
it
think there
looks
was
really
some
pretty.
news like there was some more details about it. I'm trying to find articles on it, but I think they said there might have been they're adding like cut content and stuff like that too. And that they're adding or not adding story, but like
They're changing some things
they're
up to be
changing some
modern.
things up. Yeah,
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 which is kind of what I want. I want what I thought the game was now, right? Like I want the rose tinted lenses now version of it. That's like the best option for remakes. That's why I get more excited about remakes over remasters any time of the day because
yeah,
I know people are, hey, it's sacred, it's cool to, but look at Final Fantasy VII remake, right?
yeah.
Look at Resident Evil RE2 remake, which did really well. I'm all on board. I played through this. It took me less time than others because there is an action side to it, and it was just such a good story. Um, but they were so ahead of their time with like the HUD things, the no HUD, the
Yeah, for
backpack
sure.
having like the life and energy on it, or oxygen, I believe. I can't remember which one it was.
It was like life, yeah.
Yeah, and then just the fact that you have to cut off the limbs instead of like going for the head like you would think, um, was really cool. I have no doubt that EA Motive can pull this through. I just hope that EA gives Motive the actual time and resources they need to do this proper. Take your time
For
with
sure.
it. Comes out 2024. Who cares if it's an amazing game? I
Yeah,
don't imagine this. Yeah.
it being next gen only is gonna help that game a lot.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they can do some cool stuff with the AI. I know I always say stuff about that, like, but like for me, the next gen comes in that part of it where you have machine learning, you have AI reacting to you in ways that you couldn't before, because they're better processors. So
For
yeah,
sure.
that's gonna I the monsters will be even more scary, right? When they chase
Oh
after you
yeah.
in different ways. So when they're not as scripted, I hope that they can make it. They'll probably have some scripted parts, as my guess, but hopefully they can do like more dynamic interactions with those. So that's super exciting to me. And I know Gaff couldn't be here this week, but I'm sure if he was here, he would have a lot more to say about this and like the history of Dead Space as a whole,
maybe
because that's kind of his thing.
Maybe we should have had him record like a reaction and just play it live, but oh
Yeah,
well.
for sure. Yeah, I think that's kind of it for really for EA Play.
Yeah.
I don't think I missed anything. I could be wrong.
There were a few things that Lost in Random game,
Lost in
which
Random. Yeah, I wanted to shout that out.
looks like a Tim Burton ass game. I don't have any interest in it. Like I said,
Yeah.
most of the EA Play I didn't have much interest in it. Like nothing against the games, just a lot of it wasn't really sticking out to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Lost in Random again. I think it's one worth looking into if you're into that kind of thing too, though. It does look like a unique game. I kind of want to get it pulled up here real quick just to give myself a refresher because,
For sure.
because I know I'm really into those kind of like eclectic indie games. It's just something I personally relate to a lot. Let me get the smaller here. So we have it's Lost in Random. Obviously, they had what's his name? The commish. I can't remember his. He was hosting.
Yeah,
EA
Austin
Play.
Creed.
Austin Creed, and they brought him into the trailer for this, which I thought was kind of funny.
Oh
And
yeah,
cute,
yeah,
you
that
know,
was pretty
like
funny.
they
Yeah.
were, welcome to the world of random, and he's like, wait, what? It gets brought in there. So we have. It's like a. It seems like clay styling. I don't know. It looks like claymation a little bit. Think about like an upresed, wacky Tim Burton style. Like for these characters here, we have a little. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really do it justice just because there's so much going on with it. I guess there's one of the big things they brought forward was dice battle, like,
Yeah,
and I
I'm like
guess
confused on how that works. So
yeah. Let me look here real quick because I'm on their official site, but they don't do a good job of explaining it on the EA site. Um, this is from Twinfinite. I'm bringing it up. So it looks like we got a gameplay trailer, and it looks like they did have an official release date of September 10th. Um, so that's really cool to look forward to. Dice battle. I guess they play a big part in the story too. Like dice plays a big part in the story. I you team up with a super cute miniature die called Dicey, who will help you battle the nasty monstrosities the gloomy world of Lost in Random will throw at you. Interestingly, Lost in Random blends real-time action gameplay with turn-based elements where you have a chance to freeze time and think tactically about your next move. This unique gameplay is further enhanced by some deep card-based mechanics. Yes, the description is welcome to Lost in Random, a dark and twisted fairy tale where anything can happen with the roll of a dice. Together with your companion Dicey, you'll battle fearsome opponents as you travel through the 6 shadowing realms of random on a mission to save your sister from an evil queen. Collect coins on your journey and trade them for powerful cards. Then roll Dicey to freeze time in deadly dice combat and play your cards to unleash formidable attacks, abilities, combos, and more. You'll also meet unpredictable residents and take on courageous quests as you travel deeper into the heart of random. It just looks cool, man. Some of the characters in here, if you're watching on video, like you can see, it's Tim Burton-esque, but it has its own unique style enough that I think it kind of diverges from that. There's a lot more color. So when people say Tim Burton-esque, I don't know if that really does it justice because there's quite a lot more color than you'd expect from something
yeah.
Tim Burton. That kind of was it for EA Play Live. There are some really cool stuff. I think if I'm including this in like the E3 rankings, I think it stands above like right below Square Enix, and I only say that because Guardians of the Galaxy I was excited about. But if they didn't have Guardians of the Galaxy, I think this would probably beat that. I don't know if we're ranking that, but just on a personal note.
No, I don't think so. Not this year.
No,
at
not
least.
this part. Right? Yeah. But I think you had something else in the store for us, right?
um. So do you want to do the main topic, or do you just want to forego that for this? But we can do the rotating segment maybe.
Yeah,
'Cause-
we can just skip right to it, man. We can skip right to
Yeah,
the
because
rotating.
I think the rotating segment would be a little interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call this segment pre-order or no order. So basically, what it is I'm gonna go through a list of upcoming games for the rest of the year, and we need to decide if it's something we're excited for, aka a pre-order, or something we're worried about, aka a no order. And you can only have one of each. And I maybe or maybe not have stolen this from the Easy Allies. Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, I'm taking the list of games from the Game Informer like release calendar on their website. So today is July 26th. So we're gonna start with tomorrow, and 27th. So we have first on the list a Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series X and S. Any interest in
uh,
this?
so I'm gonna say pre-order, and granted, this one's kind
Oh,
of a
okay,
weird one.
already.
I used to play flight simulators all the time, man.
Oh, really? Huh?
Growing up, I had like one of the flight sticks and everything. I had the whole setup. I fell out of it pretty quick for like other games and stuff, but I still have kind of an itch, especially now, man, because you can't really go to much countries or anything like that right now. Travel
Yeah.
restrictions are still pretty high, and it's it's gonna be free to check out on Game Pass, like, free quotation marks, but um, so just that low entry to barrier right there, or sorry, barrier to entry, and the fact that you can land anywhere with this game, and you could just check out places. I'm at the very least gonna fuck around in the game and like land at my friends' houses or something to be like, dude, take like a picture and be like, I just landed at your house or something. But I don't know. It's just more. There's so much to this game, and they put like so much good work into. This is the same developer as what's that story? God, I can't remember the name of the one with the rats. A Plague Tale. It's the same developer, right? Asobo, I believe.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
it's the
didn't know
same
that.
developer. Yeah. I don't know. They do some crazy stuff, especially with the Azure servers and things like that. They keep updating the cities and stuff on a more geometric level to add like level of detail, so it's not just like flat planes and stuff on
Yeah.
or approximations. I think and they're gonna do like a Top Gun integration, so they're gonna have like fighter jets and stuff. So that'll be really cool. Yeah, I have a more than a passing curiosity and to at least see what it's like to nowadays doing like a modern flight sim, and so yeah, I think that's a pre-order for me.
Okay.
How about you?
Next on the so for me,
Probably not.
I played. Nah, the only flight sim I really played was I think it was like Microsoft Flight or something on Windows Vista, like a while back, and that was like on a shitty laptop. The only reason I got it was like, oh, a free game. Let me play that.
Sure.
That laptop did not run that game at all pretty well.
Okay, going back to it, which one's next?
So the next one we have on this list, the same thing tomorrow. Neo: The World Ends with You. Now I wouldn't say it's a pre-order because I already know what my pre-order is on this list, but I am generally excited for this game, especially since reviews just came out today, and it does seem to be like I think on Metacritic this morning it was like an 82 or something like that. I don't know what it was, what it is now, if any new reviews got up. But it's like a sequel to it's like a long-awaited sequel to the original game back in the DS,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty excited for it. I have to finish Skyward Sword first before I go on to that, but that's definitely the next game I'll be playing afterwards, and maybe I'll talk about it on here whenever I get to it. It does seem to be shaping up to be pretty good though.
So for me, this is a no order, and it's kind of the same situation. I just never got into it for whatever reason. It seemed like it might have been my cup of tea. Everything about the original. I never got into that. And then this is like a follow-up, right? And I feel a little bit discouraged going into this one, knowing that it's a continuation of sorts.
Yeah, I think the reviews did cite that as like kind of a problem.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately,
if it wasn't 14 years after the original, I could see it being not having to do the onboarding that like say like a Kingdom Hearts kind of had to do, like Kingdom Hearts 3. They have a lot of heavy lifting to do to get people into these games that are not just Kingdom Hearts diehards. And the same
sure.
goes with this, I feel like. So it's just kind of a missed opportunity for me. Wrong time, wrong place. But it's not to say that the game, like you said, it's getting 7 and 8s most places, like 7 5s and 8s. So I'm sure it's great. Maybe if it goes on a sale, I'll check it out for Switch. It's probably the platform I'll play it on. But otherwise, for me, it's a no order. I guess we'll have to get your thoughts on that, though, right? Because
eventually,
you may eventually get to that. Maybe we'll start doing like when things start picking up. I think we can do like shorts maybe on like quick reviews. I think that'd be a cool idea. Next on the list, I guess I'll just read it out, is Samurai Warriors 5. Pre-order or no order?
we can move on. I'm not really, really.
So that's a no order.
No. So so the rules were that you only have one pre-order and one no order, and I guess you already spent yours. But we can just do this format.
Okay.
Because I was like basically taking it from the Easy Allies, where it's
pre-order,
literally Pop Tarts and Closest rules.
Okay.
But we'll just keep it like that for this week.
Okay, my bad. I guess I didn't fully understand or hear like the whole rules.
Yeah, because I was like, dang, you spent yours already?
Not for. Yeah, I was like, wait a sec, no. Okay, so going under that, it's a no order for Flight Sim then. If I have to save it for one, but if we're operating on the different rule set, then I have interest. I'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just say that I have interest, but not pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like your one pre-order and the one that you really want to get, and the one that you're really cautious about, basically.
All right. So for the one I said pre-order, that's past interest.
Yeah.
All right. So go. Next one.
So,
what do we have?
The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Any interest in that?
Interest, but not a pre-order.
Okay, now like if you just have anything to add on to, you can like talk about it. If not, we can just quickly move on.
So I played some Ace Attorney, the Ace Attorney collection on DS, and they're good enough. But after the first one, it was more of the same, and so I just kind of got bored and fell off. So I guess they added new gameplay mechanics with this one and some, but I hear it's much more of the same, and that's good for people who are into that, but. Yep, not much on that.
So I guess we'll just skip around then, because I don't know if you have any interest in anything I skipped, be sure to call it out. The next one I'm gonna mention is Nier Reincarnation. I'm interested, but I'm also cautious about it because it's a mobile game and it's gotcha. But I hop out of those games really fast, so I'll try it out. But will I stick with it? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say interest, but not a pre-order for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Can't believe I have to freaking mention this: the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster series.
You can just skip over this one. Let's just go.
I do have interest in. I don't even think it comes out actually. That's July 29th, but I don't think that includes Final Fantasy IV, which is the one I'm interested in because one of the games later on references that, and I want to try it out. So I'm just gonna say, well, I'll just skip over it. So the next one you have is, I believe this. You guys talk about this a lot. The Ascent.
Yeah. Now, if there weren't bigger games coming out this year, this would probably be a pre-order for me. This one's pretty high up on my list. It's definitely not a pre-order, but just like Diablo-esque, but in a cyberpunk style, like trappings with a little more tactical combat, like cover based. I think there's some stuff in there, and third person. It just looks really cool, like a 4-person co-op game online, fully online. Game Pass on day one, so I'm all in. Just on the idea of it. Sounds like a good time with buds, and hopefully it does really well. But super interest, I'll say, for this one, but on a pre-order.
Yeah, I haven't been really keeping up with it, but I know it is like day one on Game Pass, and the XCast they talk about it a lot, so maybe I'll check it out. Okay, so now we move on to August. I'm trying to see what we can talk about here. Anything that stand out to you?
One that's kind of weird is Godfall for PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
Right? That game barely ran on
is a real
PlayStation
weird one.
5 any proper way, so that's kind of weird. But Naraka Blade Point comes out on my birthday. That I'm only mentioning that because it's my birthday, but
Is this?
this is like the Melee
game,
BR, right?
Yeah, is it that one?
Yeah, it looks kind
Okay,
of cool. I have some interest in it. I'll probably just check out some Twitch streamers and trailers on it, but not a
For sure.
pre-order. Skatebird looks kind of cool. Not a
Oh, yeah,
pre-order, but definitely one I'll probably play. Just because I'm into those like skateboarding games that are like 2D side-scrolling. This seems to be like more of what was the one where it was like super challenging? It was Ollie Ollie, right? Was the
Yeah,
other
maybe.
ones?
I played
Yeah.
a little bit of it, but not really too much of it.
This seems in that vein. Seems like it has maybe more involved story, so that's kind of cool.
Yep.
I guess Hades, it's notable because it comes to other platforms than PC and Switch at that point.
Yeah.
The day after,
And day one on Game Pass, I believe. It's pretty.
This
huge.
one I'm playing. I'm playing the second it comes out, and the second I can, because it's roguelike, it's story based, it's everything I could want in a game. I've just kind of been waiting for the right platform to play it on. So
For sure, it's really good. I haven't beaten it, and I do want to eventually go back to it, but like all these games, so hard to do.
I'm telling you, everything I'm playing at that point, up to that point, is being dropped for Hades. So unless I see something better on this list, which I think there's one or two I'm thinking of that'll probably take precedent over this, but super interest, no pre-order.
For sure.
12 minutes.
Next, yeah, 12 minutes. Definitely trying that out. Especially since it's on Game Pass, and it's like there's like a lot of big name actors in that too, like Daisy Ridley and I believe William Dafoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Kind of Funny crew talks about this game a lot, and like funny enough, I didn't have much interest to it until like they showed the actors. I'm like, oh, they got big name actors for this.
Yeah.
Let me give it a try.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I think this is a. It's weird to say, but I think this is a no order for me. Only because, like, I'll probably end up, if I see enough interesting trailers on it, actually checking it out. But these types of games are hard for me to get into for some reason. Because I always like the new shiny, and this seems like I would definitely need to be in the mood for this kind of game, if that makes sense. Like, I would get a cup of coffee, I would sit down on a rainy day and listen to some exposition, right? And it's the same reason I don't really watch that much TV, is because I don't really find myself in that mood often enough. So that's kind of my own beef, but it looks like a great game, honestly.
Yeah. Plus, I don't expect it to be that long too, so I feel like it'd be a nice game to like just chill out one night and get through it.
So the one that got me, and what I was thinking of for some reason that related to it in that sense was, in my mind, narrative wise, was like What Remains of Edith Finch.
Mm-hmm.
I sat 3 to 4 hours and played that thing all the way through, and just awestruck with that. So if I hear great things like that and similar like calibers of narrative, and it's not just like actor filled, because we've had big name actors in video games before that have not been super great. So remains to be seen, but yeah, not no order for me.
Okay.
I think the next one I see on here is Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
If Sam were here, he'd probably give this. Well, I can't speak for him. Maybe he'll give it a pre-order. I'm not sure. I never played the original Ghost of Tsushima, so this really doesn't affect me really, and I'm kind of burnt out on open world games. And I feel like I
Um,
should try it,
yeah,
but nothing's pulling me in.
I'm super interested. This is super up my alley, but I'm waiting for like a PC port at some point. So, it's got to happen. They had one with Horizon, and I guess that did really well. So I'm really hoping that they like follow suit and just release this director's cut on like Steam or something, because that's the place I would probably play it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So far, I guess what Kena Bridge of Spirits is the next one.
Me personally, not
Yeah,
really
I
much
for some reason it
in
didn't
that.
pop up on my radar that much. I honestly probably have only seen a few media pieces from it, but it's more third person narrative game. Is that kind of what I'm getting vibes of?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure.
Yeah.
I think people just say it's like looks a little bit like Zelda, and like the art style looks pretty good.
Mm, yeah.
I'm really not like nothing about like the gameplay looked really for me.
It wasn't memorable enough for me apparently, so I guess it's probably a pass. Well, in no order. Psychonauts 2. Now
Woo!
this is a tough one for me, man. I'll let you go first though.
Um, I don't know what to say really. Like I'm really excited about this game. Art style looks fucking great. Psychonauts 1 had like great writing and stuff. Like it was like kind of a pretty funny game for the time.
Mm.
Excited to play more of it in Psychonauts 2. Just like to see how that story goes, and like apparently like previews are like pretty good. Apparently people are saying it's like game of the year like material, and I'm like really interested
Really?
about that. Yeah, have you seen
Mm.
the latest XCast
No, I
where they
haven't
talk
seen the
about it?
last one, man.
Oh yeah, people are saying it's like in the discussion for like one of the
Whoa.
game of the years. Yeah, which really surprised me, and it got me more excited to play it.
So when
Will it?
the original Psychonauts came out, I think it was getting 9s and 9.5s from places. So maybe that's not that surprising, right?
Hmm, yeah,
I
but I'm
also
like
didn't
really
know it was
excited
on
to play this. Like,
PlayStation 4.
yeah, it was a crowd-funded game back then, so they're just
Oh, it
meeting
is. Yeah.
their goals basically. I know that I don't know if this is actually legit or not, but there is like a Series S and X version because they got bought by Microsoft. But there is no PS5 like version of that. So
Makes sense.
yeah, but I'm pretty excited for Psychonauts 2. Like that's gonna be the game I play in August,
Yeah.
even though it's like all basically a month from now.
That's
Like
so close, man. I can't. Oh my god. I gotta finish
yeah,
Yakuza, dude.
sure. I gotta finish Yakuza
Oh
2.
my god. It's so good though, and I'm upset that I can't finish it faster than I want to, but
I will say
I don't know.
Psychonauts 1 is pretty short. I beat it in
Yeah.
like 8 hours.
If it follows
But the
suit,
last
mm,
that last level though, oh my god. Ugh.
yeah. Yeah. It's a keeper for sure. Do you want to what's the next one on your list on your radar here?
Um, I don't know if I'm gonna play this or not, but I do want to call out No More Heroes 3. Like I know a couple of content creators are like excited about that. Like Blessing is pretty excited for that. Steve Bowling from Good Vibes Gaming. I don't know if
Mhm.
you you've heard of them or not, but like they used to be X Game Explain guys. I know he's excited for this. He's like a big No More Heroes fan, and like I kind of want to check out the series at some point, but looking through the rest of the list, I might have to give this my first no order, only because of like the performance on
Oh
the Switch
no.
kind of worries me. Nothing about the game in general. It's like more of the performance on Switch
That's sad to
is
me.
what kind of worries me.
That's sad to me because this is a close pre-order for me.
Like yeah, like I'm saying, like it's nothing with the game. It's
No, I
just
know.
performance wise.
So the funny thing about this is I I marathoned 1 and 2 when I got a Wii U. Not even a Wii, right? Like I was late to the picture here. Like I bought the Wii Motion Plus just so it'd be more accurate for this game. Cuz I don't know, I just really I was really into the absurdity of it. Um,
Oh yeah, like it looks like a
I don't
game up
know.
my alley. I
Yeah,
just have to go and play like the
it's
first
just
couple
batshit
games first.
crazy, man.
Well,
It's just batshit
yeah,
crazy. The 1 and 2 are. If this is more of that, with marginally better graphics, I'll take it. Um, Hopefully they can key in the performance though, like you said, because I was just watching something that doesn't look too great. Um,
yeah, that's
uh,
my worry about that.
that's unfortunate. And what was it? Travis. The, Anyways, they had like No More Heroes. Travis something. I can't. But I wasn't
Yeah,
interested in that one
it was like
because that's.
like a spin-off game, I believe, or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was a
that.
bunch of like it was like basically a glorified like indie collection of like random inspirational like pieces that they did from other games. So I don't know. It wasn't really a No More Heroes game per se. So when they announced this one, I was like, okay, now we're getting the proper sequel that I've been waiting like 10 years for. I can't remember when 2 came out, but it was for the Wii, so it was a good while. This one is very close to a pre-order for me. Um, I think we can skip the rest in August. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Moving on to September, do you notice any off the top?
Um, Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition. Sonic Colors. It's a good
Yeah,
game. It's a remaster. It's all I gotta really say.
sure.
Uh, Maybe I'll get it like when it's on sale. To be honest.
Yeah, I think we had a discussion about this, but I just wish they would put the time into actually making a good not good, just great 3D Sonic game. Because I think it can be done if they have a different angle to it. Because they keep trying to approach it with like 2D sensibilities,
Hmm.
and that doesn't super translate to the 3D plane when you're talking about platforming and such. At least in my opinions, except for maybe Sonic Adventure, they did it pretty well. Um, I think that was the last one I really vibed with as far as 3D ones personally. I did like Colors, but that's like 2.5D, right? It has a blend,
Mix of
right?
both. There's like yeah,
Yeah.
it's a blend.
Yeah.
So have you played Generations? Because I feel like that just like builds off of Colors.
Yeah, it's an evolution. I kind of wish they would have done Generations. That's what I was gonna say. I wish they just would have done Generations included in this. Maybe that would have been a
Mm,
way more attractive package, in my opinion.
yeah.
Mm,
Available on the Xbox backwards compatibility though. We'll give it that.
I'm not gonna say no order because I'll probably will check it out, but just
Yeah,
because.
Sonic games like at this point they're like get on sale,
Yeah.
especially after Forces.
Oof. I played Forces, man, and I thought I experienced what a bad Sonic game could be. I don't know,
Force the
man.
thing with Forces, it's not bad. It's just super mediocre, which kind of makes it worse. Because now it's not even memorable.
Right, you can't even knock it for being like, all right, well, this is super camp and super like B movie and bad, but no, you're right though. It is kind of just like just riding the line of like this is playable, I guess, and I can play through it,
Yeah.
but. Mm,
Anyways.
True Colors, Life is Strange. True Colors is the next one that I saw. September 10th.
Yep.
Not my cup of tea. So I'll probably no play on this one. No order.
For sure. Um. Guess we can call out. I don't know. Do you wanna? Oh, maybe. Okay, I'll call this one out. Tales of Arise. I've never played a Tales game before, but this one looks pretty interesting to me.
I've
I don't
heard
know much
some
about it,
hype around
but
it.
maybe I'll check it out.
Isn't it in like the new Unreal Engine? And they're doing
I
like some crazy stuff
I
with that.
believe so.
I'm getting some real Scarlet Nexus vibes from it. As far
Yeah.
as like anime game. So, but that's kind of been
Yeah.
Tales
I
MO.
won't. I probably won't pick it up day one, but like if it hits Game Pass or it's on sale at one point, maybe I'll like check it out.
Yeah, I love a good JRPG, dude. So anytime one
Yeah.
of these comes out, that's
Yeah,
that's of
the
note,
Tales
right?
series is big, and like I haven't played any game in that series yet. So
Uh, I've played a couple of them. I played Tales of Vesperia, um, and it just kind of it's old enough to where like we've come far enough in like RPG combat systems that it bugs me with some things. So I
mm,
just couldn't get past like 5 or 6 hours of that one, which is more than I would have normally given because the story is good for Tales of Vesperia, especially if you play the one on Game Pass. But yeah, I guess one I'll call out is WarioWare Get It Together on the 10th.
yep.
Also, wow, 10th is kind of packed. Lost in Random as well, which I didn't shout out before, but that one I'm kind of interested in as well. So
Yep.
I have a choice to make. I really I put so many hundreds of hours into WarioWare games respectively just because I love them so much. About beating my personal scores and beating friends' scores on like the minigame micro game collections. And if this is more of that, it just seems to be so I unless I see something better on this list here that I forgot about, this is my pre-order.
Oh,
Uh,
nice, nice.
just based on how my play styles work, this will probably be my pre-order.
Okay. Next we got Deathloop. Personally, not interested in it. Don't know if you have like anything to say about that.
It was one of the contenders for me for that just because I know Arcane and they do really great work. So it's more of that. Uh, um, again, one of those
Yep.
ones I'll probably check on a sale. So
Now I know. Now I know. I said there's you can only have one pre-order, one no order. But this next one, I'm definitely giving a no order. That's Diablo 2 remastered.
yep,
Straight
no
up
order,
no order.
no order.
Not supporting that shit. Sorry about that, but
Not sorry.
no order for me. Yep, exactly. Um, Death Stranding director's cut. I'm interested to see like the new content in it. I believe it's only like a $10 upgrade on PlayStation if you have it, so it's not too bad. But I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it to be honest. With like everything else coming out soon.
Yeah, this is gonna be a no order for me. Death Stranding as a concept and Kojima games just haven't really gelled with me. I know that's sacrilege, but a lot of people love Kojima games. I've tried to get into Metal Gear many times, bounced off almost every time. Um, this seems too plotting for me when I saw Death Stranding stuff. Just too slow paced and just not really up my alley. I get it. It's like a whole statement, but it's cool for people who like that, and it looks like they're actually adding a decent amount of content. So uh, I guess look forward to more goofiness, shenanigans from Kojima with that. If you're excited about that, that's a no order for me. I don't know. I think for September I can't see any more. What about you?
Yeah, same here. I want to call out Lost Judgment though, because that game does look pretty good. I have to like play the first one if and all that stuff. Like just like the entire Yakuza Judgment series is pretty interesting. Just a lot of games to get through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
I guess I have an interest in that one, so that's probably unfair for me to skip that one too. But yeah, September is kind of we can pass through the rest there.
yeah. On to October. The first one I see that interests me is Metroid Dread. Now we're just gonna break all the rules here. This is a
Yeah, this
pre-order
is a
for me.
pre-order. What who am I kidding? Like,
Yeah,
because yeah, I don't know. I thought of pre-order and like, hey, I'm gonna actually definitely get this day one and play it all the way through.
yeah. You know, what? I'll bend the rules for next time. We'll just have like I don't know. I have 5 pre-orders or something like that. I
I know
don't know.
it is crazy, but how many games? So do they run through like the gamut, like when it's gone through, or is it just like a few games and they do pre or no order? I
Um,
can't remember.
I think they do like the first half of the year and then the second half of the year,
Okay,
like depending when they do it.
yeah,
Of
no,
like
this
known release dates at least, you know.
if we only have one, so far I've shifted my pre-order. I know I'm
Yeah,
breaking the
I know,
rules.
right?
I've shifted
Well,
my
maybe I don't.
pre-order, but
I don't know. Actually, I don't know how many they do. I don't think they do like the entire year, but
It seems like
I don't know.
that would be kind of a task.
Yeah, for sure.
Back for Blood is of note. It's super interest in this one just because I liked Left 4 Dead when it came out, so it's cool to see him back to form here.
Yep. Battlefield 42. Looking forward to that. Wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's a pre-order, but
No,
for
but
sure, really excited to play it.
I'm gonna check out the beta when it comes out. I think next month they were saying. So,
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy is another one. October 26th.
Yeah, I gotta see how that is. 'Cause I remember the trailer, there were some frame rate issues,
So,
and
if I can get past a little bit of framiness, if the story is good enough, if the story and
yeah,
gameplay are good enough.
I want them to like to go more in depth in like those that Telltale system they had where, in the trailer in the gameplay reveal they threw Rocket across a chasm in the top left. It said like Rocket will remember that. I want to know like
Is that a
if those
Telltale
decisions
thing? Like,
is it? I don't know. I thought those were like Telltale things.
yeah, that seems like one of those like because I'm pretty sure they had a Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game with
They
those
probably
kind of
did, and it
mechanics,
probably wasn't good,
which
if I
makes
remember
that a little
correctly.
bit awkward. I don't think they finished it. I think they had plans for more and they never finished it because the
But
studio
yeah,
disbanded.
I want to see like more in depth in those systems. Like, will the choices like heavily affect the story, or will it be like small like differences, like dialogue differences, but like the main story plays out the same?
Yeah, yeah. So that's one to keep on my radar too. Going through here, the next one I see of note, Age of Empires 4. I have to give a shout out. Um, I know it's not really for everyone. It's definitely a particular crowd. But something about seeing giant armies destroying obstacles and conquering people kind of gels with me a little bit on a very like fundamental level. uh, other than that, yeah, that one's an interest, not a pre-order. Do you wanna do this next Mario Party Superstars? Are you interested?
Yes, if I can get people to play with it,
Right.
because it is like the first fully online Mario Party, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Now, I heard some rumblings that they were redoing like netcode and stuff
Yeah,
with
so
Nintendo.
so I forget when exactly they started doing that, but I believe the first game to utilize that was Monster Hunter Rise, and I've had
Mhm.
nothing but good experience with that game's online.
Oh, really? That's good to hear, man.
Yeah.
Because
Um,
I've had nothing but bad experience with Nintendo Online.
Understandable.
Smash being of particular note. You would try to hit someone and you'd end up like off the map dying because you don't
Yeah.
know what happened. Yeah.
And then I believe the online update they did to Super Mario Party.
Hmm.
I don't know if that uses a new system or not. That's one I'm like I can't give a confirmation on.
Yeah.
But I would assume this new one does use it, and if it does, hopefully it's fine. Because Monster Hunter is really the only one I've seen so far, and it works well. But I can't really speak to other games. Like
Sure.
I don't know if Mario Golf uses it or not. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of it is on the developer, but it is also on the server side end as far as hosting when it comes to
For
Nintendo.
sure.
So that does affect it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but I do like that this is like the first fully online Mario Party.
Yeah,
And like
no,
they added like features like you can suspend mid game so you can come back later. So
it
that's
seems to
really
have
great to
all this
know.
the boards that I want from it. So
Yeah,
I just hope they use this as a platform instead of just keep releasing new ones, to be honest. Because
yeah,
until you have like an engine change or something, I really don't see that there's a justification for doing a new one after that.
yeah. I feel like like Mario Party is like ripe for that kind of thing where either free updates for new boards or pay DLC. Even though free updates would probably be better.
Yeah. Um interest. I'll say interest on that one. No
For
pre-order
sure.
though, for sure.
If I can have other people, if I like have other friends that get it, then I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. Um I think we can go to November, because I think that was the last
Big boy
one.
months.
Yep. Here's the bangers. You want to read them off?
Just Dance 2020. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Forza Horizon 5. I'm interested. I've never played a Forza game, but I'm definitely interested in this one.
Yeah. If this is more of 4, that's not a bad thing.
Mhm.
Especially with some volcanoes, some really interesting highlighting of like this country that you typically wouldn't see, I guess, brought forward otherwise. Yeah, and they've always been super great about gamifying it enough for me. So I'll definitely
Yeah.
play this day one just to kind of run its courses through there.
Yeah, day one for me on Game Pass. Woo.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 5 next gen version.
Oh,
I mean,
no play, no order.
maybe I'll check it out, but I'm not gonna stick with it. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'm not gonna stick
No.
with it.
No, see, I'll get all excited about the online mode playing with my friends. I'll jump into
Exactly.
the online mode, which hasn't changed the tutorial in forever, and it sucks. Figure out that everyone has some cool shit and I have nothing, and then log out.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, so SMT5, Shin Megami Tensei 5. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh man, like I've been going like back and forth on this game. So I'm like, this is a game I could probably like get really into, but then I'm like, shit. Look at everything else coming out afterwards. Do I have time for this game?
November is
Am I
packed.
am I gonna like it? Cause I like Persona's story and like the social
So-
elements, and like SMT doesn't really have that. I'm like, am I gonna like this or not? I'm like kind of
Speaking
is hard for me,
on
'cause I'm,
the
like,
little experience I
worried
have
that-
from SMT4, like I think it was like Apocalypse or something like that. It's different from Persona in a sense, like gameplay style. It's a dungeon crawler, right?
yeah, and that's like what kind of worries me because I
Yeah.
like the social elements of Persona. I like seeing the day to day life of stuff, and like
So you
they
know the
showed a little bit of
mechanics.
that in the trailers.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't think that's like really the main part of the game. You know, it's like the demon world or whatever they should
Yeah,
be showing.
and so in Persona they have that mechanic where you can befriend the monsters, right?
Yeah, and I know that's from SMT.
So it's that taken to the nth degree. And they have branching paths and dialogue like for each one of these different mobs that you can go through, and like they each have their own story and interests and things like that. So that's kind of where you see those. It's a more dynamic like dialogue combat system in a sense. I guess I'd maybe liken it to what's that one detective game that came out not too long ago on PC? It got a lot of awards, but it was just dialogue based. Like the combat and stuff was just dialogue.
I don't know if it's this game, but was it AI the Somnium Files? I don't know nothing about the game, but I just assume it's a detective game. I really don't know.
Oh god, what was it called? It just got announced to have like a console release not too long ago.
Oh, then I have no idea.
But anyways, your personality traits give you different strengths in your dialogue in that game, and that's kind of similar here, but for your like for the monsters that you obtain as you're going along through the dungeons. So it does have that kind of sort of pseudo Pokemon where you're collecting them different ones. And you kind of had that in Persona, but this is like way more expounded upon in my experience. So
Yeah.
it also does have a super involved like overarching story on top of like the dungeon. I don't know. I would say definitely check it out when it comes out. But yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what we can't ignore. I'm just gonna get the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I'm gonna get it day one just because I'm a sucker.
Yeah, this is a pre-order for me.
This is
I
a
already have it
pre-order, not
pre-ordered.
pre-order, right? If we're cheating, this is a pre-order.
Yeah,
If we're talking in the
Th-
literal sense, this is a pre-order.
yeah, for sure. This like the original games were my childhood
Mhm.
basically. Like just I put in so much time to the originals on DS, and like to this day I feel like they're still my favorite Pokemon games. I wish it was easier to find a legit copy on eBay,
Same.
but like there's like a lot of repo carts out there and stuff. And like
You can do ROMs, but it's
I
not the same.
It's not
Like,
the same thing. Yeah, exactly. I want to play like on a physical like DS,
yeah,
and like I'm hoping like this remake like does like fix a lot of the quality of life issues the game had. Like the game was pretty slow back then, and like
hmm
there weren't a lot of fire types. I know they fixed that in Platinum, but like it still wasn't enough.
Was
Like I'm
this the
hoping
one with
like
the cubes, the Poffin cubes or whatever they were?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and so I'm hoping like the underground they add like an online functionality for that.
dude, that's
Just
so ripe for that. They can add so much to like base building and stuff too. Oh
mhm.
man, was that the one where you tapped on the screen to find fossils? Like,
Yep.
in the dude, I don't know why. It's just such a cool mini game. Like all of those added things to Pokemon. Like, I played that more than going out to collect like the Pokemon and fill the decks. So
Yeah.
if they nail
And like
that, like I don't know.
the battle tower had like a co-op mode that for some reason they never brought back in other games. Like why not bring back just bring it back. I hope like I just hope like this is more of the same, just like modernized. Like
Sure.
I don't want like all of the new stuff they added like in these newer games, like the shared well maybe that's it. I don't know. Like I wanted to keep the feel of the original games and modernize basically.
I like the one where you would go find their base. It was like a secret, and you had to go look
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, you had like a certain
Like
amount of time, I think, to do it.
maybe.
It was
Like
like
I know there's one
Go ahead.
there's a Pokemon that you can only get by meeting 30 people in the underground. Like, it's kind of tedious, but like I kind of hope they keep something like that in there. Like maybe drop it down to like 15 or whatever.
Yeah, but
like,
that was the cool part of it. You had to get involved with your friends to get this crazy thing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking like maybe have that portion online so it's a lot easier to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Just stuff like that. Have Poffin making it because that had co-op on that. Have that
Mhm.
do it online too.
Dude.
Just like anything that was local co-op, add an online feature to it as well.
Yeah. That's all they really have to do and up-res the game, and I'm in. So like,
Yeah, because that game, now that I think about it, had like a lot of multiplayer stuff besides battling. Because there was the contest, the Poffin making, the underground. Um, pretty
the
sure there was
battle tower, the
the battle tower. Yeah, in Platinum there was like a parade area you can go to, like a festival. Like,
Hmm.
nothing of worse. But like it's just like a fun little thing to do.
yeah. No, like cool things to do with friends, and we need more of that.
Yeah,
So let's see. I guess Endwalker is the next one, right? And I already know this is day one play for you.
this is the pre-order to end all pre-orders for me. Basically, like I'm so fucking excited for this shit. I can't
It's supposed
wait.
to end the major storyline arc that's going on right now, right?
Yep. Exactly. And they said it's supposed to be like 30% longer than like other expansions. So like
Beefy.
and this is on the 23rd, which is like Thanksgiving weekend,
Ooh.
and early access is the week before. I'm fucking strapping in for this.
You talking
This is
energy drinks and staying up all night marathoning that game. Yeah.
this is if this isn't my game of the year, I'm gonna be surprised to be honest.
I want to be more involved with Final Fantasy 14. I just don't have the time, man. Like this is one of the biggest regrets I have for like video games in general at the time, because everyone says great things about Final Fantasy 14. Like almost on the daily I hear another good thing about the game. So
I can confirm.
if no games were coming out, if I lived in a vacuum, I could dedicate the time it took to actually play those things.
For sure.
I can just kind of admire from afar and be like, yeah, that's awesome. I really wish I could see that story.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just watch like the cutscenes, dude.
Man, that's a lot of cutscenes.
I know.
And then like a lot of it's not like dialogue. Some of it's like doesn't have voices, but they've been getting better about that. Where like most of it is spoken, but a lot of it's reading. And like at this point for me, it's like I've grown so attached to my character in the game too. So like
you are the hero, right? And then
it feels more personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I feel like watching someone else play it while seeing their reactions is fun, it doesn't
Mm,
feel like the same as you like
no,
experiencing the story yourself.
it isn't, and yeah, it's one of those ones. I have to get to that and Final Fantasy VII remake, so it's a dark spot for me when it comes to Final
Yeah,
Fantasy for that sense because I played most of the other ones. So
yeah.
um,
Now, while the servers for Shadowbringers they held up pretty well, I don't know if the server's gonna be okay for this launch.
there's a lot more hype behind this one, just
Yeah,
anecdotally that I've seen. So
for
we'll
sure.
see. Uh,
I'm excited, but that day one is gonna be. I don't know if I take the day off for that or not.
if
Like
it's
it's gonna be
so,
tough.
let me tell you, don't take the day off for it because at least if it's anything like Destiny is when it comes to new big updates like this, day one is just destroyed. You're waiting in server queues for a couple hours at least.
Oh
When
yeah.
you get in, it's unstable, right? And this is
I
not
made that.
just this is not just Destiny, man. These are other big online games too that they
Yeah,
have that happen until they stabilize. Would you say
yeah,
you made
because
the mistake?
so the expansion before Shadowbringers Stormblood, there was a lot of server issues.
Mhm.
And then Shadowbringers came along. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to work this day. And then I come back and everyone in my guild is like, oh yeah, there's been fine. There's been no problems. I'm like, fuck,
Oh, of
I should have stayed
course.
home.
Yeah, so you never know. It's a double-edged sword with that because you're like, well, I just missed out playing with everyone there in that sense. But then on the
Yeah,
other side, you're like, well, like shit, I
but
could have been working if it's crashed. So
yeah, but no, I do think it's gonna be pretty bad this time because a lot of news about like they ran out of digital copies because everyone's like buying them. Their servers, like last I checked, they turned off character creation because of influx.
so they
Um,
had Asmongold
yeah,
checking it out recently. So that definitely didn't help things in terms of like servers crashing. I think when he was playing during the first time he was streaming, the servers were just going to shit because everyone watching was then going in and being excited about it and telling all their friends to get on. So
yeah, and then Naoki Yoshida had to put out an apology because like he said he didn't expect all this traffic. They had to turn on a AFK kick where if you're AFK for more than 30 minutes, you're gonna get kicked off the server to make room for more people.
I kind
So
of wish they would just have that all the time. Like that's what Destiny does. Destiny does it.
yeah,
That's weird.
but
Do
like
you AFK a lot to worry about
me
that?
personally, no. But like there's like a lot of people that in my server, um, there's this group called the Jays who like stand around in like
Oh
one area just
no.
dancing around.
Oh
And
no.
I guess they're like one person with multiple accounts.
Of
Just
course it
like
is.
they're a well-known person. Another one is a person called Top Nep who they stay around in the current end game hub just AFK, but they somehow always have like the best high-end gear. So like they're obviously playing when no one's on, but like they
Yeah.
stay AFK a lot, but like
That's like a meta
AFKing is
game.
like yeah, AFKing is like a big deal in this game. Like either
Okay.
like watching people walk by or stuff. Like, but me personally, I don't get the point of it. I like doing like playing the game when I'm on, but
Yeah.
it's it's like a culture, I guess you could say.
Okay. There's a subsect of people who like it's essentially another form of RP, right? Like
Yeah, basically.
I get it. I used to do a couple RP servers for like Guild Wars. That was kind of cool. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
but
I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. It's just such a high barrier to entry for me.
for sure, there is a long way to go. But like,
Give me a
if you
boost.
once
Let
you
me
get
play the
into it,
most. I don't know. It's like it's doing a disservice
see,
to the whole story, right? If I do that
now,
too.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though Realm Reborn, like people do say that it's like it slogs a bit, and I agree it does slog, but it's like it builds the world up.
Sure.
It introduces you to the characters and stuff like
It's
that.
the Hobbit of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? Where there's
For
so
sure.
much exposition, but it pays off, right?
Yeah, and it definitely pays off.
That's oh, that makes me want to play it more. That sucks. Um, Tentative, I'll give this a try when it comes to.
Maybe you'll eventually get there.
Dude, maybe when I beat all the other 100-hour RPGs.
Yeah, for sure.
December, I guess we'll move through them quick. Advance Wars 1 and 2, that's like a remake of the original Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Not much to say here. I'm probably going to play it. I don't know. I might actually wait for a sale on this one because I did like Advance Wars, but I've kind of already played the game. So,
Yeah.
do you have any interest there?
Not at that price, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up, I guess we have Dying Light 2. I'm gonna say no order because I just don't see myself playing the game. But
Yeah, me neither. Um, so that's all we have for confirmed release dates so far.
yeah,
Um, is there any in the to be announced that you're interested in? I know there's one that obviously we're going to talk about being
let's look here.
Halo Infinite.
If you're for the audio listeners, I'm scrolling through again. This is Game Informer's 2021 like release.
Yeah, there's a lot in this
thing.
list. I would just say like call out the really important ones.
Yeah, I'm going to. Where is it? I guess. So so for me, next year, Destiny 2: The Witch Queen, which kind of is the Endwalker for the.
But that got delayed to next year, didn't it?
It did. But because they wanted to go full in on it more, they wanted to add more to it and like, I guess make it the Taken King, right? 2.0. So that's what they've purported it as. So that's really exciting for me. I'm always into Destiny for some reason. It's just like a toxic relationship because I know they're not going to give me what I want usually, but I love the gameplay. So that has like a tentative first quarter, I think, release next year.
Okay.
Digimon Survive, I wanted to shout out. Go ahead.
Yeah, if Witch Queen is on Game Pass, then I'll pick it up there too. That's how I got Beyond Light and like
I think that would be
Xbox.
smart.
Yeah, if all the expansions are on Game Pass, Xbox is definitely the way I'll be playing Destiny.
Yeah,
I'll probably just stick around for the expansion main story and hop off because this seasonal format they have going on doesn't work for me personally.
it's exhausting me. I haven't played nearly as much as I normally would have with the bigger releases that they used to do, like the quarterly.
Yeah,
I could really get
sucks.
into that, but yeah, it's.
I do love the gun. I think Destiny does have like the best gunplay out of like any of the first person shooters out of there. Like it's so satisfying. It's just that I can't commit that much time to one game.
So the story is getting really, really good. And not just like lore entries, like actual voice dialogue and parts and things you're doing in the game is actually getting really good. I just wish the gameplay, not necessarily the gunplay, but the gameplay of it were a little more interesting, and they would evolve it because it's been 9 years now. No, like 7 years. Sorry, 7 years. Since the original like alpha came out, right? 7 years, and I might, feels like that anyways. But the gameplay itself and the loop needs to adjust and change for me really to dive back into it. So I'm really hoping they can shake it up with the Witch Queen here. That they're taking the extra time to really give some new modes or like revamp the original 3 that they have right now. Yeah, the one I was thinking of, by the way, Eric, that we were talking about earlier was Disco Elysium.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that one I am for sure gonna pick up on Switch. It's definitely a Switch game to like sit in bed and like go through this detective's like warped mind. And you can play the detective role however you want, and that, I don't know, it seems interesting enough to me, but definitely one I couldn't sit in front of my screen forever for, so definitely a Switch kind of thing. Like I said before, Digimon Survive, I liked the other ones, the prior 2, I believe, that came out. Digimon Evolve, I can't remember what they called. Digimon something story, right? Cyber Sleuth.
Oh yeah.
So those were really cool. So
yeah, not a Digimon guy, so I can't really talk about that.
Do you have one that you see?
Yeah, just looking through this list. Halo Infinite, obviously. I don't think we need to go into that. We already gave our thoughts on on that game. Like we're super excited for it. That the technical test might be this weekend. They stated,
Yeah.
possibly bots only, but it's a good
So
start.
I'm gonna definitely stream that one when it does come out, so that I
Yeah,
can have some archive footage for the channel. So,
for sure. If it's on a Friday, maybe. Well, I don't know if they confirmed
yeah.
it or
So
not, but if they allow you to play with friends, we can at least do like some
yeah,
matches against bots.
no, that'd be great. I would love to do that.
Yeah, and then yeah, there's that, and then I guess the other one is Horizon Forbidden West. Is it coming out this year? I'm having more doubts about that. It's almost August, man, and we haven't really heard much about the release date yet.
You forgot a very important title arc, and I feel like we need to apologize for this.
Oh,
Final
we did.
Fantasy VII: The First Soldier.
Um,
Come on, you don't want a Final
okay.
Fantasy BR, dude.
To be honest, I'll probably check it out, but I'll hop off it.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna touch this with a 10-foot pole. And that's nothing against the developers. There's probably an audience
Yeah.
for this out there.
And then like, yeah, there's like a whole. If not, I'm just gonna stop it there because we have been going on pretty long.
No, yeah. I
and-
think there's a few ones real quick. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I don't know. Some of these like Neo the World's End with you on PC.
yeah, that's supposed to have a PC release later on.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really see any more in here. Obviously, if you are watching or listening, you can let us know what maybe you're excited about. XAinteract podcast at gmail.com. Honestly, it turned into more of like, hey, what are we excited about for the rest of the year?
Yeah, basically.
But I feel like that's kind of what those lists boil down to, anyways.
Yeah,
maybe
and
we'll
we're, like,
stick more
already-
strict to the rules and put some more things on that.
sure.
But yeah, I guess we can call it good on that one, right?
Yeah, we're already like more than halfway through the game. So I just want to like an update on like to see like where we're at with certain games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. But we have been going on pretty long, longer than I expected, honestly. So
Yeah.
so we're gonna call it here. So this has been this week's episode of X Interact. If you enjoyed the show, please consider following us at Twitter at xinteract_. On YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you get the podcast to get the latest news and updates about the show. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or you just want to send us a question and we'll answer it on air, email us at xtointeractpodcast@gmail.com. I've been Eric. That has been Steven. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. And game industry, be better to everyone, please. It's 2021. Stop this.
Get it together, guys.
Get it together.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.